Hello and welcome to Offload, our podcast where we just talk about stupid shit. I'm Jason.
I'm Tom.
I'm Jared.
I'm Charlie.
This week's episode, Conspiracy Theories.
What a load of shite.
Depends on the theory.
So, where do you want to start then?
The Hitler clan still lives.
The what?
The Hitler clan still lives.
Do you mean the Hitler Youth?
Yeah.
The Hitler clan still lives.
Alright, so so what's this theory then? What's this theory then?
Oh no, it's not a theory.
Shit.
The Hitler clan still lives. Like.
Well, we're talking about theories.
Oh.
Not talking about statements.
No, that's the Quickscope's clans on one, not one player.
Alright, well, you want to...
It's Hitler with an I, one for the I, and then an X at the end.
You want to...
No, it's XXX,
Oh,
Hitler,
yes.
Pussy Slayer, XXX.
Alright, get ready for the Iron Fist to come through your spiritual fucking anuses.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
this is about to blow your fucking mind.
Right, here's first
So-
theory of the day.
JFK. We're going to start out with this one.
JFK
It was brought
blown
up
away.
multiple times. Yeah, JFK, as everyone knows, got fucked up. 720 nose coat by Lee Harvey Oswald. But was he? Was he?
Yes.
I hope so.
How do you know?
Because, as you can tell, I was there.
No, see, I can kind of get
Tom's
where
an
those
old man.
theories are coming from, though. It does make sense, the fact that where he was supposedly got caught shooting from, the angle of where his head got shot, just doesn't make sense. I can see where the theories are coming from.
Plus, they kind of did confiscate any footage, homemade footage,
Yeah.
from that.
There's now footage on YouTube that actually has recreated colour versions of him,
Yeah.
him getting shot.
So it's all edited.
But it's actually quite funny.
But supposedly they're supposed to be leaking the files, aren't they, later this year?
Yeah.
November time.
But yeah, I get that theory. I'm not one for you know me. I'm not one for giving in theories, but that one kind of makes sense. From where they've supposedly been shot to the angle of where he's got shot doesn't add up.
Yeah, no.
But it's to be fair, all it is conspiracy
theories.
All it is just people guessing what the government isn't telling you. Do you know what I mean? Because
Pretty
that's
much.
the biggest theory: is government hides everything and only tells you what they want you to know, which is fair enough. But that just leads that makes sense because obviously the government don't want to tell you everything; they want to control it as much as possible. But that just leads for all other theories to be randomly made up.
That's very true.
So, Jared, you say?
Yeah, no. I was just going to bring up the fact that, everybody wanted him dead. The Russians wanted him dead. The Cubans wanted him dead. The mafia wanted him dead. Because if you didn't know, his dad was part of the mafia and all his support came from the mafia. So when he got into power, they were like, all right, if we get in shit, you cover us. And he was like, fuck you. And then everyone just got on his bad side. And if you look at Lee Harvey Oswald, he was like proper. His wife was Russian. He went over to Russia a lot. He's been over to Cuba. He was just linked in all this crazy shit. So I personally think everybody was like, yeah, kill this motherfucker.
Turns out.
But the theory, what's the theory then? Because if you're saying that Lee Harvey Oswald did in fact kill JFK,
that's correct.
that's
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, but people thought he was acting out of his own volition. Was like, I'm just going to kill JFK because why not? The fact is,
it's a nice day outside, have a barbecue, have some beers.
Turns out
shoot
it's
the
Assassinate the president in his own car.
ban my Russian wife.
5 different people actually tried to kill him at the same time.
Yeah, but so essentially the theory is that instead of doing it just for some reason, there's actually a reason behind it. He was actually assassinated by either Cuba.
And the CIA.
Yeah,
The CIA. I remember this now. There was a guy, and his name was.
CIA man, number one.
It was something Hunter.
Agent Fuckboy.
Pussy Hunter, XXX, Pussy Hunter, XXX.
That was it. Now I think about it. He said
His
something.
dad works for Microsoft, doesn't he?
His dad's probably dead now. He died 40 years ago from old age. But what he said was that
We got that clarified.
JFK was on the
Don't
CIA
worry about
shit
that anymore,
list.
lads.
So Lee Harvey Oswald actually worked for the CIA, but the CIA covered that up.
But I thought he was also Russian and had Cuban links.
Well, no, he married
Oh.
a Russian. He married a Russian, and he also had been to Cuba.
So essentially, Lee Harvey Oswald just seems like a fucking twat because you're saying he's got some kind of Russian influence because of his wife. Said he had
So
links
he's
to
got that
Cuba,
Russian
and,
pussy.
he's just a puppet, essentially.
And
Do you reckon he got paid for it?
Well,
Well,
I
he
don't.
got
I don't
fucked.
Money's useless when
maybe,
you're
maybe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing. Before he went to trial, some guy from like the mafia just shot him. He was getting escorted by the police, and he got shot point blank by this mafia guy. They can't do anything to the
See,
mafia
that
guy.
makes sense because it's like, oh yeah, if you kill him, we'll pay you after he's dead. He's like, yeah. He dies as a bang. Fuck you.
It's tying up loose ends, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what the mafia are known for.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like they don't have to pay him if they kill him.
Yeah,
afterwards.
yeah, they save money, plus it doesn't get out that possibly the mafia orchestrated his death.
Exactly. So that's.
Do you know what? This is actually coming semi-believable.
Alright, so what's that? Like a
I'd rate that probably about an 8 out of 10 theory that could possibly be true.
Alright, so we're saying a solid maybe not bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a scale of like 1 to being completely made up and fabricated, to 10 being possibly not far from the
10, I would
truth.
say 10 being straight up near enough fact.
Yeah, 10 being straight up near enough fact, and say like a 7, 8 is basically like, based on what
Unproven
people have said,
facts.
it's basically like close enough to probably what's happened.
To be fair, like some of the the theories of it, like what people have said, the way it links to stuff. The way I see it is, it seems more believable than the story we are told. Do you know what I mean? It does seem more like someone he was put up to it. Some sort of government, depending on what country it was, but some sort of government thing was behind it. Do you know what? I wouldn't even be like what Jared was saying with the CIA. I wouldn't even be surprised if it was the US government that that got him killed.
Probably, to be fair.
So yeah, I would agree with you on that. I would say about an 8 out of 10 if you're thinking about rating it. It does seem somewhat more believable than a random guy just going, "Hey, fuck you." But on the other hand, it has been known like that random. Do you remember like recently Trump, that random British dude that went over to America, stole a cop's pistol and tried to shoot Trump just because?
Oh, that fucking idiot.
It's like, so equally fair enough that the links to the government do make sense, but equally
We're on this shit list.
it being America, random people wanting to shoot presidents and just celebrities isn't unknown.
Yeah,
You got like
exactly.
John Lennon, all that bollocks, and need I go on?
Well, the John Lennon thing wasn't a random guy. The guy asked for his
Was it? He was-
signature, and John
said-
Lennon was like, "No, sorry," and then he just
Fucking killed
But yeah,
him.
no,
He
that's
went
what-
on the
no,
net.
yeah, that's
Fucking
what I mean.
brained him.
That's a random guy. Do you know what I mean? It's for his own cause, so it's
Yeah.
not been unknown that well-known people are just randomly fucking killed.
Right, well, I'm going to bring up the elephant in the room. 9/11.
Hey,
Because let's be honest, that's
that's
probably
what we lived through.
that's like the most talked about conspiracy theory. Like,
Okay, what's your stance?
right, so essentially, the conspiracy theory is that it was all planned by Bush. There's a reason that he wasn't in Washington DC or New York on those times. He was actually, how far away was he from both the cities? He was in a school, wasn't he?
Yeah, I don't
Fucking
know.
weird.
Reading books to little kids. But essentially, the whole theory is that it's all based, it's all planned by the US government, so they actually have a reason to invade Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Same as
To get oil.
it's the same as the conspiracy theory about Pearl Harbor.
There's no oil in Afghanistan.
It's to
Don't
start
know that,
wars. It's to start wars and gain land and territory.
Yeah.
jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
Yeah, it's basically on the same premise as the so-called Pearl Harbor
They
one,
can't-
where they just
can't
needed a
melt
reason,
steel beams.
so they made one, just so they can now go, all right, fine, they've done this to us,
Yeah,
time
that's
to retaliate with no well, obviously there were repercussions, but obviously with less repercussions than if they were just to do it straight up.
See, here's why I don't think, like, even if it was a US government thing, which I don't believe it is, I don't think Bush would have included. Like, to be honest, like, I feel like it's the kind of thing that would be like a deep state kind of thing, CIA kind of stuff. But let's be honest, I don't think it was Bush or the US government. I don't think it was the Taliban either. My money is on the Saudi Arabian government.
I
mean,
reckon,
the
I
amount
reckon it
of
was
terrorist
100%
bankrolling they
US.
do these days.
Because what was there was evidence of the actual beams inside, obviously, jet fuel can't melt steel beams, but the actual beams inside the Twin Towers, the point at which they broke off was a perfect slant. And if you crash a fucking plane, I mean, I'm no fucking pilot, right? But if you crash a plane, you cannot get it with such precision that you're
No,
going to
because-
cut that beam
No, because
diagonally
you
like
won't
that.
cut it, will you? You'll buckle it first.
Yeah, you'd buckle first, and it would show signs of
snap.
being
It
buckled,
would-
and it would be jagged.
It wouldn't cut. It would
But-
snap.
But do you know what cuts stuff like that completely like that? Thermite.
Yeah.
Which there's also found traces of thermite in the building, but a lot of people saying, "Oh, that was for building reasons,
But then,
like construction reasons." But bullshit.
Obviously-
No one uses thermite to build a fucking tower. First of all,
wasn't it like the explosion come from outside, inside outwards?
Supposedly it came from inside outwards. And supposedly the explosion hit just seconds before the plane actually crashed into the building.
Yeah.
But there's also that, and plus there's also the fact that the Pentagon supposedly had a plane crashed in. There was no debris of any planes, and any footage from CCTV cameras from that day was completely wiped.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
So-
I'm not saying that it was all, hunky-dory, the story we were told, but I'm trying to say that I don't think it was the US government. I genuinely believe it was the Saudis. Mainly because they bankroll so much, anti-Western terrorism today, and that I believe if the US found out, they would have to cover it up. You know what I mean? Because they have so many links to the petrodollar and through oil with the Saudis that I honestly don't think that they would, disclose the information to the public. But that's my own personal theory. Again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't really, I don't run that shit.
It's a lot of fun. But yes,
jet fuel can't melt steel memes and all that.
that's the thing, because what's it? I don't know. See, the thing is, the fact that there has genuinely been, they slowed it down to a few seconds. I mean, I get where you're coming from. The Saudis have done it because they know America can't afford to lose the deals between them. Due to, as you said, oil and stuff like that. The fact that they're bringing in so much money from that they can't afford to split ties, so it'd be the easier option to just completely cover it up and blame it on the Taliban. And then, obviously, Taliban's already been worked into the media as a bad thing. So people aren't just going to go, "Oh no, it wasn't Taliban." They're more than likely to go, "Yeah, you know what? Fuck the terrorists. They did this to us." Right? But there's I don't know. See, that's the thing, I don't understand the Pentagon thing. Because with the Twin Towers, I can understand the Saudi things. Like, "Oh shit, you know what? We'll cover it up. We'll say it was the Taliban." But the fact that all footage was wiped from the Pentagon and there was no debris. So I can understand the footage, that's not going to become public domain. But the fact that there's no debris, anyone could walk past and find that there's no trace of a plane there whatsoever. I mean, then it kind of comes under the thing of more people are likely to believe the media. I'm not saying America are a gullible bunch of cunts, but I'm saying America are a gullible bunch of cunts. So they're more likely to believe the media than a couple of people who walked past the Pentagon, saw no plane debris, and then started saying there was nothing there.
Yeah.
They'd say, "Oh yeah, but the news said there was something there, so fuck you, I believe that over you."
No, so I agree with that, because when you think about a car crash, right? So I was working down at the yard, right, and where the roundabout was. So I was working down the yard, and where the roundabout was, some dude drove through the wall.
Mm.
Now, where he drove through the wall, all of the... Bear in mind, this is just a car, and the front bumper come off, and that was all that come off. He reversed and drove away. Thought he could get away with it. Long story, but to back that up is the fact that it was literally just the wall, the bit of the wall. He drove half of his car into it and reversed out. But even then, about a good few, I'd say about 5-10 meters away from where it was, even just in a random bush, was part of was a random car, a car part, that bit of the bumper. And it's just you see random shit like that, and I think we found fragments of the car in 5 different places 2 weeks later. And it's just stuff that's one bumper going random places. There's no way that you're going to get a whole fucking plane and not have one bit of debris.
Yeah, precisely.
Because with a whole plane doing like that, I wouldn't even be surprised if one landed on you'd have where the Pentagon is, you'd still have planes and you'd still have debris hitting the roads and shit.
Mm.
So no, that does make sense.
No, there's no way they're going to get every piece of that plane.
No, that's just
unless they went over everything with a fine tooth comb. Even then, yeah. So there's that. So see the evidence. I'm not saying it's highly stacking against it, because there's also a lot of evidence that doesn't stack against it. It kind of contradicts it. But I feel like it's at that point now where it's enough evidence to kind of take it into consideration rather than completely dismiss it, kind of thing. And that's where I think I put that conspiracy on about 6.5 to a 7. The fact that it is a high possibility that that is the case. There's like no evidence to completely. Yeah, ranking conspiracy theories. We've got to analyse them. But yeah, it's kind of too much evidence to kind of say, nah, that's just what people are made up for. But it's not enough evidence to say, yeah, that's 100% what happened.
See, sorry, now I've got a theory, right? It's more of just a thing as opposed to, it's not like a full-fledged like conspiracy theory. But
I apologise.
I reckon, you know, like all this terrorist shit that's going on now, right? That it's like all ISIS and shit. What are the chances of some of the shit? Someone's just doing random shit on their own accord, and ISIS just go, "Yeah, that's us."
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly what's happening.
That's exactly what they do. Yeah,
that's not a conspiracy theory.
No, that's what I said. It's not exactly a theory.
Your daughter fell while crossing the road. It was us.
Hey, you dropped your fucking toast.
You dropped your gay card.
You
You bastards.
Do you know what I think's bollocks, though? I do think the war in ISIS is a load of shit. Think about it, right? ISIS, the whole idea of like terrorism and Islamic State and all that lot, that's an idea. That's not a cult. Or it's not like, you know, like as soon as you bomb that cool story, game over. It is literally the whole, you know, like Muslim rights. I don't even know what they're fighting for, to be fair. Just like, you know,
the Sharia Islamic State.
There you go.
No, that's exactly
they're fighting
what they're
against the Western capitalist pig dogs.
Like, as soon as someone,
fuck off,
as soon as someone goes, yeah, that's a good point, they automatically support ISIS. So you could literally.
Why can I imagine just some guy in the streets going, yeah, that's a fair point. I might nip down to Syria for a bit, you know?
Yeah,
come on, lads.
Pick up some milk on the way.
Some of that
just
state of
some
the art
random Taliban's round up to you. Hello, grabs the AK. No, but it's like it's just shit like that. It's like you could literally get every single person in the entire world that agrees with what is like, you know, ISIS are doing and all the soldiers. Put them in one room and bomb them, right? As soon as someone else goes, yeah, that's a fair enough idea, and decides to do something, that's ISIS rebuilt again. They're saying the war on terrorism and war on ISIS, but that's not like, you know, like the whole like 9/11 thing to invade other countries and go to war. I think it's one of those again. Fair enough, they're doing terrorist attacks, and fair enough, it's an actual thing. You know, you can't say that ISIS itself is a conspiracy theory for given reasons, but the whole statement of war on terrorism is a load of bollocks, because terrorism is an idea. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's like one of those things. It's just like there was a comedian that made a joke about it. It's just like, so you're fighting, you're starting a war on terrorism. It's like, yeah. So what does war bring? It's like, you know, just a joke about terror, but it's a good kind of terror that will bring free. And I'm just sat there like, I'm thinking like, in a genuine point of view, it is like America's a stupid bunch of cunts, but even they can agree. Even they can agree that a war on terror itself is a load of bollocks. All one random dude.
Well, the biggest terrorists are the US.
Yeah,
really.
I
would 100% say it is.
No, they are not.
100%.
Yeah, but all they like, do you know what I mean? As soon as someone gets a pistol, they become a terrorist. Do you know what I mean? If someone like puts a gun against your head and just goes "fuck you," like, you know, just starts shouting shit, they're a terrorist. There's no way you're going to go war on that. I reckon they're just using that as an excuse to again invade, like, you know, countries that they want to. They're using it as a power play, and it's just a load of bollocks. So it's like, oh, I support the. It's like that thing on Twitter or something. It's like, yeah, John the plumber from Slough is really gonna, like, you know, fuck ISIS. It's just all this bollocks. It's just like they're saying war on terror, war on ISIS. Yeah, fair enough that you would go about your own country and do you know what I mean? Like, you go about your own country, your own defence against ISIS when they do terrorist attacks. But you can't go to a different country and then start a war on ISIS when ISIS is just an idea.
Well, you see, I can't disagree with you there, because, like, no, I know you can't kill an idea with, you know, nukes and guns and, you know, airships.
We'll give it a damn good try.
But, you know, it's not just an idea. They are effectively a country. You know, they have huge slices of Iraq and Syria. And what I says, you can't declare war on an idea, no. What you can do is declare war on the Islamic State. I mean, we know where the fuckers are. It's not like the Taliban. They're not underground. You know, they're quite ballsy. They're running around in gun trucks and tanks. You know what I mean? Whereas, I agree with you. You can't... we're never going to kill off jihadism. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. Same way you're never really going to get rid of Irish separatism. Never going to get rid of communists. You know what I mean? As good as a world it would be without those fucking stupid cunts. But, you know, like, you're never going to get rid of those ideas.
Yeah, that's true.
But, you know, Islamic State is still a place. And, you know, they are still, you know, people operating in a country, you know, like, essentially holding large swathes of it, you know, hostage.
I would be quite interested to see what happens if they did actually like destroy, like get rid of ISIS. Like, say America went in there. And
another terrorist group will pop up. No. Years later.
I'd be interested to find out whether or not they go. There you go, Syria and all that lot. There you go, cool, and then just leave, or they go. No, I quite like it here. Actually, I might just stay here.
100%. That's what America do. They get rid of it, and then they're like, you know what? They'd say it's to stop. They'd be like, to stop any of this shit happening again.
Yeah, we're gonna
keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
But really, what they're saying is,
it's like
to keep this bit of land for our own. Yeah. We're gonna keep an eye on it.
To be fair though, it's
but if you fuckers try and take it back, then we've got problems.
They're not empire builders. I don't think they would, you know, keep the
land. They wouldn't like actually take the land and claim it as like an American territory. No. But what they'll do is they'll keep a close eye on it.
Yeah.
And if any like rebels try and like basically take the land again,
try and rebel,
then instantly they're going to be there to like tell them to fuck off.
You see, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I'd say that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. Like, I prefer the world being under a Western English speaking democracy.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Rather than it being you know, under jihadism, you know, or any other radical ideology by aggressive cunts.
Well, compared to supposedly what it is now, say America taking control doesn't seem like a bad idea.
I wouldn't disagree.
But then there's also the fact of America taking control is in somewhat always a bad idea.
So you say
there's the good aspects of it, because the fact that it's taken it over from what it currently is. But then there's also the fact of that gives America a bit more push. And then pretty much at that point, America's like, yeah, we did this, we did that. It was us that handled ISIS. We kind of...
Those niggas in ISIS, they killed big.
Yeah, we're kind of keeping a watch on it.
And then
ISIS did this. That just gives them more free reign over that certain area.
True. However, it's good job we're allies with US. Eh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is though, like you know, I agree with what Jason says. Like, I agree with you both. It's just because when you think about it, right, the Syrians didn't do too well of protecting that area, did they? If they did, we wouldn't be in this situation. And let's be 100% like you said. Like, you know, like, and more tallies and more rebels and shit like that coming over. If it went back to, I reckon it would have been a better situation if they do. Because if it goes back to Syrian territory, then it's just going to repeat itself. Well, there's no way that they're going to go, oh, we've learnt from ISIS.
There's not going to be Syria in 5 years, let's be honest with us.
Yeah, no, Syria's going to be fucking taken. It's going to go the way of Persia.
It's going to be split between...
Yeah, it's going to go the way of Persia and just be split between different things.
Israel might take a slice, Lebanon...
But to be fair, I reckon
Palestine wants a slice and Israel will tend to fuck off. And then there'll be another war.
I reckon that would just be another fucking Middle East war on its own.
There'll have to be another crusade.
Thing is, though,
Dave's fault.
You know what I think's the biggest bullshit of it all? Everybody that claims that, like, do you know what I think's like the most deluded type of people? People that think
Christians.
Christians. People that genuinely believe that world peace is achievable.
Yeah,
they're not every Christian.
Well, what is it? What is it in since what is it, like the year 0, like 0 AD? I'm pretty sure, wasn't there not even like 100 years of peace has happened since that? I think it's like a number like 57 or 60 years.
We've had I think it's like 2 years of peace in the last century.
Yeah, that's the fact. Like in the past 2,000 years, we've literally had about, I think it's combined like 70, 80 years of peace.
No, it wasn't that bad. It's not like that much.
It is. It's a small fraction.
No, I mean like it's not like that high. I swear it's like it was something like
it was less than 100 years.
Wait, Google this shit.
Right.
Yeah, Google it, because it's something like because, you know, no matter what happens, there's always a small conflict going on somewhere. I'm pretty sure that it was like one.
Well, yeah, country A wants something country B has.
Yeah. The thing is, though, one person's idea of peace is another person's idea.
Oh,
of
there you
shit.
go. There's a little bit more of it. Of the past 3,400 years, we've been entirely at peace for only 268 of them.
Oh, there you go.
8% of it, we have been at peace.
It's just one man's idea of pleasure, like peace, is another man's idea of bullshit.
Yeah.
So as soon as someone goes, oh yeah, like if America go, oh yeah, we're at peace, that their idea of that is America's in charge.
Yeah.
Someone else, like Russia or fucking, let's be fair,
China.
Let's be fair. As long as North Korea is a country, there is never going to be peace.
Yeah. Fucker, you're England.
I don't count North Korea as a country. I count as a glorified city.
Yeah, no, but when you think about it, right, all these deluded cunts like, oh yes, world peace achievable. I want to achieve world peace and that lot, but it's automatically voided, even if it's something as little as a war or a small thing going on against like North Korea.
North Korea is South Korea's tumour. That's what it is.
Yeah, no, but they're still fighting. Do you know what I mean? There's still conflict there, which automatically voids world peace.
There will always be some point in the world something at conflict,
Exactly.
which 100% you will not guarantee
I mean,
peace.
it's like you and your neighbours. You're like, oh wait, do your fucking lawn. They're
Yeah.
like, no. You're like,
Fuck you!
give my rake.
Fuck
But
you,
yeah,
cunt,
so it's
I'll
just like-
fucking shoot you.
Because the thing
You
is,
wanna
though,
go, mate? Fucking
beforehand,
come on
that
in.
200, think about those 200 and whatever it is years that we have been. They would have been fucking hundreds, they would have been centuries ago.
I think pretty sure it's probably fucking out of those 3,400 years, probably 10 years a fucking century, not even that.
Well,
No, I'm like, I mean, it was early. You know what I mean? It was early in our history. There's no way that as soon as someone's got guns or something to fight with, since the swords have been invented and shit, it just goes to prove. Otherwise, if world peace was achievable and we did achieve it fully, what's the point of weapons? Why have we got all this shit? Do you know what I mean?
well, I think we're more peaceful now than we used to be. I mean, ever since, just hear me out. Ever since, nuclear weapons became a thing, large superpowers have been like, you know what, I'm not going to fuck with him.
I think that's just out of
You know
choice,
what I mean?
That's not necessarily peace,
Right.
that's more bitching about someone else behind their back.
That's not guaranteed. That's not right, come on, let's all get
but
together
it's
and be at peace. That's because they're too shit scared
That's
to do
what I'm
it.
saying. We won't have another world war because of that. You know what I mean?
Let's be fair, if we have another world war, it will be the end of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, Albert Einstein, he said it in a good quote. I don't know what World War III will be fought with, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
The thing, that's the thing, when you know that you can end human society.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't reckon there'll be another world war, but in terms of we've been the most peaceful we've been in a while, I don't think that's true.
The thing
There'll
is,
definitely be another World
Well,
War. It
you
might
got-
not be now. It could be in 100 years. We'll be dead.
Yeah, not in our lifetime, I don't reckon. There'll be I reckon there'll be a big scale war in
There'll
our
be a big
lifetime.
scale, but not a world war.
It'll be a big scale between a couple of countries, but it won't be.
It won't be a world. Think about it, right? It's actually been proven. It's an actual fact now that humans in themselves have enough. We've created enough firepower to genuinely destroy the Earth, make it.
Well, think about this. Since we've been alive, we've endured the Iraq conflict, Afghanistan, and
us personally.
no, on about whilst we've been alive, there has been.
Yeah,
let me say,
I'm joking.
the Iraq conflict, the Afghanistan conflict, multiple Syrian, Libyan conflicts, fucking the Palestine-Israel conflicts going on.
You never see.
You still got the Russia-Ukraine conflict.
So
that's just in
you never
not even
see,
20 years.
European conflicts anymore.
Well, that's because
It's all the Middle East
That's
shit,
because
which,
the last two fucked the whole world over.
True.
Yeah,
Well,
last time European
since-
companies went together, it was called World War 1 and 2.
Well, no,
Well, actually, there was also.
that's what I mean. Before that, I'm talking
the-
about in our lifetimes.
There's also the Yugoslavian, fucking mess. With Serbia and
Yeah, true.
NATO and all that. Then you have the Soviet invasion of Hungary.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff.
Since
with
we've
the
had
Cold War.
the EU and NATO.
No, the EU has not done shit for peace.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about our country, the countries in it. That's what I mean. Since he was saying about since we've been alive, you've had all the Syrian lot. I just said it's funny how since we've been alive, it's literally been all like
Mainly Middle East,
shit,
yeah.
And you have Russia and shit, which for some reason on servers still counts as the EU, but you know, fuck yourself.
Well, yeah, like part of Russia's EU, part of it's not.
Well, no, it's not part of.
No,
Europe,
not EU, but Europe. Like, you've got a western part of Russia's Europe, and then the eastern
but
part
that's
is.
why, but that's why there's
is,
like Russian conflicts and shit.
Pig
with
dog land.
The people in like the actual EU, it's just like, no, okay. Like in our lifetime, it's just.
That's because we're all banded. Like a lot of us are banded under NATO now.
Yeah.
Like the amount of wars the English and the French have, you'll never. Well, in our lifetime, you won't have
The
another
eternal
English-French
rivals.
war.
Yeah.
Like because we're both under NATO, you won't have the England and
No,
the French
that's right.
fighting again for a while.
Mm.
Obviously, NATO will eventually fucking become something else. But you know,
See, NATO's not.
whilst
too
we're
bad.
still alive, we won't fight the French again unless they fucking come onto our fucking land.
That's
Oh,
Aegon the
shit.
Conqueror starts fucking shit up, man.
Yeah, unless he comes out of a book and starts fucking people up.
Well,
But
yeah, you know, it's just shifting alliances. You know, like when you think about it, our two closest allies, the French and the Americans, were at that point in our history our worst enemies.
yeah,
True.
You know,
See, do you know what? Going like I know it's typical, right? Just changing like the topic a tad.
China.
Donald Trump.
hey,
Yeah, so China.
The amount of times
Bing
that
bang.
people have actually chat shit about him and cry, like like scared about him and all this lot. Think about it from a British point of, like from being here, like my point of view, we're better off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like Donald saying,
It's funny that
and
it's funny
Brexit.
the fact that Donald Trump being elected president of the US has made Britain better off.
I know.
Yeah, so
And the
there's-
Brexit, everyone's like, it's the end of Britain. We're all fucked. But we was at the bottom of the like we were really low down on the trading list. So US.
Oh, yeah, according to Obama.
Yeah.
Actually, so there, you know what I find funny when government officials talk about trade. Trade is a process that happens naturally.
Mm.
Company A
You can't just sit there and
wants something that Company B has.
cool.
Okay,
we'll
and
put you on the list, fam.
then Company A imports it from Company B, and they get Company C to ship it.
It's just the way it works. You can't
All
sit
you
there and...
do is manage the traffic
no.
and the tariff.
Yeah.
You know, as the go.
So it's just like So
And
we.
even-
Like,
sorry, go on.
sorry, no. I'm just like, so like we were on the bottom, and now we've literally just had a fast track up to the top of the trading list.
Because of the Farage barrage and
And
the
I-
Trump
like-
friendship.
Thing is, though, right? This is going to be quite like okay, fair enough, right? So far, the way he's like been appeared, he appears, Trump is a shit president.
You see,
However, when you think about it, running a country is business. Now he is a very no matter how much you hate him, you cannot disagree.
That he's a
He
successful...
is a very successful businessman.
lib shits would disagree.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but fuck the SJWs.
Fair enough that he may be a bad leader, but he is a very, very good businessman. And business is what you need to run. Like I know you need leadership and all that lot as well, but business is what you need to properly lead a country.
It's the same as... See, Mitt Romney came from the same area, but he didn't use his words right.
Yeah.
He blatantly always basically said, I'm going to use my money to make it better.
Yeah.
It's like, here you go, do this, throw money into this, throw it into that. See, Donald Trump essentially said, I'll throw money into this and throw it into that, but he worded it differently.
Yeah.
He's still an idiot, yeah, but he worded it into the fact of he made some of the people want what he was offering. He was like, I will pay for this.
Yeah.
For this to
Make
happen,
America
I
great
will.
again.
Yeah, it's like for this to happen, I will happily help do this. But Mitt Romney was like, I'll just throw money at it. There you go.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, it's like, did you hear about? It was like very recently. It was either this morning or yesterday. No, I think it was yesterday. I heard something.
Was it 50
Yeah, it's like
missile
56
strike in
missile
Syria?
strike
Assad, I think.
without talking to Congress.
Yeah, he didn't get Congress's
Yeah, but
permission
I think
to
it was
how,
50,
how
50
many drone
missiles.
strikes?
Yeah, but no, I'm saying
Yeah,
I think
how
it was a
many,
smart move. To be
like,
fair.
How many bombing runs did all the other presidents beforehand do without talking to Congress?
Yeah, fucking
Yes.
loads.
That's what I'm talking about. People
not
go.
that big a
Like,
deal.
what was it? I
that's what-
saw
that's
this
what I mean.
article actually about they're saying Trump did this without Congress's full permission. Right, he launched 50 missiles into Assad. When to be
into Assad,
Yeah.
directly into Bashar al-Assad, yeah.
But yeah.
So, hey, fuck you, buddy.
But yeah, he
One
launched,
is not enough.
he launched 50 missiles. Apparently, 10 would have done the job. Right? He launched 50 to be sure. But the fact is, they said, "Oh yeah, Trump did this without it." But then they also said this article was like, They basically kissed Obama's ass, yeah. And they were like, oh yeah, because when Obama did it, basically he ended up listening to Congress and not doing it. But what about all the other times Obama didn't listen to Congress?
It's just like
and fucking launched drone strikes.
Like, I'm not defending him.
I mean, Obama's a cool guy. He seems like a cool guy to go and have a drink with.
Yeah, but
in terms of presidency and what he did, he is not squeaky clean.
Yeah.
He is not squeaky clean.
He's the same as the rest of them.
Well, no one can hold that much power and come out clean.
Yeah, exactly.
True. But the problem
just
is,
look at him, when he started compared to when he finished.
But the problem is, shit like that, decisions are need to be made. Now, no matter what decision you make, you're going to make enemies. Regardless. So, it's not necessarily people that make the right decision. It's not even the people that are like, oh yeah, you want a president that makes the right decision. It's someone that has the ability to make the decision, is the thing. Because even if you make the right decision, that's a matter of opinion. People that say the right decision, I would agree, yeah, fair enough, send the 50-odd missiles over there. I would say, yeah, fair enough, that was a good shout. Someone else might heavily disagree with me and go, it was absolutely outrageous. But automatically, who's the right thing? Listening or not, you know what I mean? Like, him doing it or him not doing it. The thing is, though, the amount of the shit... okay, fair enough, he is a bit of a bad end. But the amount of shit that Trump gets, when you actually think about it from a genuine point of view, like an analytical point of view, he's not that bad. He has the ability to make those decisions. He's a good businessman, so he knows his trade. And when it comes to stuff like that, maybe bombing it wasn't the right thing. Maybe it was. That's, like I said before, it's a matter of opinion. It's a matter of the thing.
Yeah,
but he makes those decisions.
The thing is, Trump gets a lot of shit because of what he's said and done in the past. As he's never before had the... Like, most presidents have had the ambition to kind of grow up in that kind of environment. So, I want to kind of go into politics and stuff like that, and they grew up with that. Trump was initially he still is a businessman.
Yeah.
And he just went, you know what, fuck it, I'll give it a go. But the thing is, people will constantly bring up shit he said in the past, right? They'll use that as a defense point against Trump.
Yeah.
But what they don't understand is some people are still knocked into the old ways of the fact that a president should be kind of... Like, let's take their symbol of the eagle, right? They say it's like a freedom symbol, it represents America.
Yeah.
They feel like that's what a president should be. He should be someone who represents the country and shit like that, right? To do what they kind of feel is the American way, kind of thing. So some people are still in that mindset, and because Trump has said things out, and they're using it against him, it's like people when first Obama came into power, because he was black, there was a shit ton of controversy about it. The first black president, and because it was like kind of our times, that could happen.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are speaking out about that. Same as in the way a lot of people are speaking out about Trump, but they're for two completely different reasons. The fact that it was highly controversial for a black man to be running the country, but then it's also highly controversial for apparently someone who's been very sexist to run a country. But the difference is there's two different kinds of people who did it. Back in 2008, there were still SJWs. Yeah, there has been for fucking ages. But I feel like in that 8 years difference, it has gone to extremes now.
Well, that's because in those 8 years, the left has been running the show.
Yeah, it's all been fucking the Democrats.
See, what I
but now it's Republicans.
What I think is interesting is, again, his skill set. I think it's quite interesting that he comes from a businessman, because everybody's like, oh, he's a businessman, he doesn't deserve to be a president and all that lot. But if you go up aspiring from politics, your politics and all that lot, but when you think about what keeps a country going, when you think about it, is economy, right? And stuff like that. Now, being a businessman, you know economy and how to deal with economy a lot better than you do. Like, when you're a businessman, you have your own business. That's your own mini economy. Do you know what I mean? That's your own thing.
Yeah.
And it's like he has
trade.
more, trade and all that. Like, he has more ability and more knowledge to deal with economy and working around that than he does how to say something in public. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, fair enough, Obama was quite smooth and did well, but when you think about what actually happened in the time that he's been on the presidency, it's the same thing, yes. Like Jason said, nobody comes out squeaky clean, and it's just like, they shit on Trump, but he might seem like a dodgy motherfucker, But when it comes to the stuff that matters, at the moment, I haven't seen him do that bad. Considering, compared to all the other presidents, there's something everybody will disagree on. And now, they have shit of what he's done in the past and that, fair enough, but they have two different agendas, do you know what I mean? No two people are going to run the country the exact same. Like Obamacare and all that lot. Some people love the idea of Obamacare, but then you also have the people that would disagree with it. Do you know what I mean?
For some reason.
So no, but I'm saying like it's literally that you'd have people that disagree with it.
I understand the American gripe with Obamacare. Like, just hear me out. They don't have universal health care, and they still pay the most in taxes out of all the developed Western countries. Adding another tax burden on top of that is just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, especially when the idea of America is that states decide that kind of thing, and that central government shouldn't
the
be
problem
deciding
is
that
with
kind of
America,
thing.
they decided a very long time ago that you have to pay for that shit.
Yeah.
And now they cannot go back on it.
Well, it wasn't a decision, really. It's just that they didn't, implement social health care at the same time as everyone else.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that was a thing that happened in most Western countries after the World Wars.
Like, say like us in Canada. So take us for example. We have free healthcare. It's just what's been developed. So America have made a decision and chose not to make a decision at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, we don't pay nearly as much taxes as they do.
Oh, no, we don't.
To
You
be
know,
fair though, when it comes to
like-
America though, like what you said before, just in general, more of a metaphor thing. But like what you said, that they have like the national thing of this is again like with the presidents and all that lot. I think this works quite well actually. Like when you think like from a metaphor point of view. Now, you say like the eagle, the American animal is the eagle or all like freedom and all that lot, and that's how people see the presidency, like presidents and that lot. Sorry, but when you think about it as well, what everybody seems to neglect is the eagle's also a predator that supposedly destroys the lives of lives and families of many like mice and their prey. Do you know what I mean? But the point is, none of them think about that.
No.
They think, oh, it's a free, it's the eagle, it's mighty and courageous and free. And it's like, yeah, fair enough it is, but it's also a predator that murders shit. And when you think of presidents and stuff, they'll be like, oh, it should be for America, they should be squeaky clean,
But
they
they've
should be
also
free.
got to have
But
that
they also
aspect.
have to, again, destroy families' lives and that lot, and hunt.
When you look at a country symbol, everyone has that kind of fierce kind of animal.
Like,
you know?
we have a
Apart
lion.
from Scotland,
Yeah.
fucking unicorn.
Like, we have a lion. The
Yeah,
fact that it's
British symbol
pride
is the
filled.
lion.
Yeah.
Pride filled,
You know.
protective, but then it's also like a fucking.
One
If
of the
you,
most vicious
yeah,
fuckers on the
if
planet.
it's one of the 60 deadliest animals on the
Yeah.
fucking planet.
Then
So
you've got the Russian bear,
yeah, it's a
the
fucking
German,
bear.
the German falcon, the Chinese I don't
Panda.
know about it. Yeah.
Dragon.
yeah. There you
Even,
go.
Komodo
even
dragon,
though it's
yeah,
a
fuck
possible mythical beast. The dragon is
Impossible.
still-
Dragons don't exist.
No,
It's that bearded dragon, man.
Komodo dragons.
Chill with a Komodo.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I don't think a flying dragon
Actually,
exists.
if-
The thought of a flying dragon didn't exist, but a
if-
dragon being just a huge fucking reptile, I can understand. I can understand it being
Yeah.
a point.
Komodo
Yeah.
dragon.
Yeah, like Komodo
If-
dragon, just
if-
being bigger
If
and
Komodos
fucking
weren't
big
so,
fuck off scariness.
If Komodos weren't so fucking deadly, I'd love to hang with one.
Yeah, Komodo will fuck you up.
Yeah,
They're
that's the
huge.
thing. It's their bite.
Far
that-
Cry
that
taught us
bacteria.
this.
Yeah, it's all. If they bite you, you're just gonna die of disease.
Yeah.
If you don't die of the fucking blood
I'd
loss.
beat its fucking ass.
Just like what's it called? The fucking what are they? There's animals that just are known. Honey badgers.
Honey badgers.
They're
Fuck
just
that.
known not to
No,
fuck. They
honey
just don't
badgers
give a
are brilliant.
shit.
They fuck with lions.
Yeah.
Any animal that is 2 feet,
Small man
in length,
syndrome.
and will fuck with a lion. I'm like, nah, dude, I'm good.
Do you know what's worse? The fact that there have been cases where honey badgers fucked with a lion and won.
Just like, nah, I'm cool, man.
Yeah, I
But
know.
90% of the time it's just...
Yeah, 90% of the time, a lion, it will come up against a lion, not realise there's a whole pride of lions, and I'm like,
But
shit, I fucked up.
That 10%,
I'm going that fun, boss!
That 10% is the hardest fucking 10% you'll ever know.
he's hit all the bottom.
It's like the Hell's Angels of honey badgers.
Yeah.
Oh, man, fuck that.
But yeah, so
If
it's
you've
just
got
like
beards.
Yeah, just fucking beards and tattoos and shit. So, come on, then you
fur
can't.
rolled up to the,
Yeah,
to
it's
the
like-
forearm. But yeah, no, it's literally just no matter where you come from, opinion point of view, whatever president comes in and stuff like that, there will be shit on them. So I know it's kind of gone from the conspiracy thing, but it's still the point of
Topics that matter enough.
People. Yeah, people don't.
Conspiracy, controversy, same thing.
Same thing. Yeah, it's just like people don't. All I'm saying is people, especially here, especially in the UK alone, give Trump so much more shit than he deserves. In the UK alone, because the amount of people that you see on Snapchat and like people on Facebook that go. Like, you know the amount of people like you genuinely saw like crying or that, like Trump is now president, it's the end of the world,
really,
fuck.
You know what really pissed me off about that? Is like,
You know what really grinds my gears?
he's not the president of this country.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean?
We've got fucking Theresa May.
If he fucks up in that country, that's on them.
I get
You
the
know,
whole
he's
if America sneezes, then like Britain catches a cold, but not in the way that if Trump fucks up that we're affected. And if anything, if we are getting affected by something, is for the good. Because of the trade, you know, the Farage barrage and the Trump, right? Because now that we are in the top, you know, we are on the top tier list for trading. If we have been affected, I would say, one of the things that has affected Britain the most when it comes to Trump being being president is now that we voted to leave the EU. We are not as far, if, say, for example, it was Obama and he didn't really want to trade with us and he didn't really give a shit. When we went, if we left the EU, we would still, not struggle, but we would struggle more with trade, you know what I mean? Finding different applicants to trade with.
If Article 50 was triggered whilst Obama was in power, we'd probably have more of a struggle than Trump.
Not even, because it's not even the fact of struggling for other, trying to find people to trade. It's more the fact that you want to be able to trade with the most powerful country in the world. That's just a given.
Yeah.
There's
Russia.
no argument with that.
We give you vodka, little white man.
That was more of a struggle when Obama was in power. Now that Trump's in power, everybody, all the people in the everybody in the UK that cry about. My finishing point is everybody that cries about Trump. Nice.
3 for 2.
Everybody that cries about Trump being president in the UK is just fucking stupid because what's it called? Basically, information for you lot. Tom just farted like an absolute twat.
Jared's face.
And Jared's face. Start that.
Oh my god.
So
God.
yeah. So just rounding it up is I would say people that are in the UK that were crying about Trump being president. It's a load of bollocks. I don't see why any of them worry. Because if we, as a country, are going to be affected by Trump being president, it will be better off.
Positive way.
See, you know what would have been a real problem? If Hillary Clinton was president and we left the EU.
Oh my.
If you farted all that time.
Exactly.
That would be a worst case scenario. Because the fact of the matter is, she's still part of the Democrats.
That bitch was crazy. She wanted a no-fly zone in northern Syria where there's a bunch of Russian jets.
Yeah. You do not put a no-fly zone there where Russia can go, you know what, you've just fucked with us.
Yeah,
you have pissed on our territory.
That's asking for a war there.
Yeah, exactly. You don't restrict Russia's military because they'll fuck you up.
So yeah, it's just like stuff like
You
that.
can't say to Putin, you know what, keep this aside. Bitch, fuck you, no.
And the thing is though, I know that sounds bad, but let's be fair, Trump isn't deporting us, so, you know.
If I'm not getting deported, then I'm fine.
Exactly.
To where?
Wales. move me back to Wales.
Automatically now, we are better for Brexit, because you know that there was that whole debate of trying to get, UK citizens can still have EU trade, passports to travel and that lot. So they still have the ability to travel around Europe the same as they would now. And if that's, when that goes through, then the people that worried about, the people that were worried about stuff like that, because my missus, she likes to travel a lot and she likes to go around Europe and all that lot, and she was worried that if Brexit happens, then she couldn't. But now
that's no big deal. Once you actually get on the continent,
you don't
have to pull out your passport again.
No, that's no big deal. What I'm saying, it's even better now, because even that little worry like that is automatically fixed, because they're saying that you can still travel to Europe just as easy.
Still Europe. Yeah,
still moving to Sweden.
So now we've got
They don't want you there.
Now we've got movement into Europe the exact same way as we do now, and we have a better trading policy with the most powerful country in the world. We are better off.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because a lot of people will criticise Trump on certain things, but what they don't understand is they've been living under Democrat rule for 8 years now, right? Even obviously you had a Democrat president, and then you also had the Senate it was ruled by Democrats, wasn't it? I swear it was. Was it Republican?
No, it was split. The Senate was split, and the Congress was Republican.
That's it. Yeah.
At the moment. Right now in America, it's a Republican presidency, a Republican Senate, and a Republican Congress.
Exactly. So now you've got the right. I'm not saying like the right and wrong. Obviously, the right and left.
As in right wing.
As in right wing. You've got the right wing fully controlling a lot of shit in America right now, and then that's where people are getting pissy because they're like, oh, we can't do this. It is mostly SJWs.
That's because the left.
Donald Trump is not my president.
Yeah. We want to make a change. And what are you going to do? Nothing. But the thing is...
We're going to scream.
Because a lot of, what was it? Didn't they have that... I mean, I'm not going to come across as, trying to come across as sexist here, but didn't you have that Women's March protest, a week after his inauguration?
That was the same day, wasn't it?
I think, it was. It was the same day as his inauguration, he had a Women's March protest going on. And the thing is, Trump, he has said sexist things in the past, but the fact of the matter is, you just got a bunch.
Fair, we've said worse on this podcast.
You've just got a bunch of. You just got a bunch of women to gather in a place just to chat shit about a president. How petty does that look?
No, how bitchy does that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How petty does that look? The fact you've just organised a women march. That's like saying, you know what? He didn't invite me to his party, so you know what I'm going to do? Throw a party next door and turn the music up a bit louder than his.
You never see a bunch
that's
of blokes
essentially
do that,
that's essentially what you're saying.
The men's march.
Yeah, the men's march. Just a bunch of people sitting down with beers, and there's going to be a couple of fights.
Yeah, but this
penis, vagina.
Men's march turns into Fight Club. That's it.
Yeah.
Rule 1 of men's march.
But that's exactly what
You
it
do
is.
not talk about
men's
it.
march.
Rule 2 of men's march. If you get naked, you do not talk about it. Now embrace nature.
Rule 3, it's not gay
But yeah, but that's the thing.
You don't push back.
But that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. How petty does that look? The fact that, I don't support the president this much, that we're just going to organise a march on the same day as his inauguration, and only women are invited.
Yeah. If anything, that's sexist in its own.
The fact of the matter is, they got A-list celebrities were there as well.
Yeah.
And
fucking Madonna.
I mean, I'm just going to say this outright. If you're a celebrity, I don't give a fuck about your political views unless you were famous for being political.
Yeah.
No, at that point, you're not a celebrity then, you're a politician.
You're a politician. You're just a famous politician.
Yeah, but
I agree Boris Johnson.
Entirely.
He's a famous politician.
I agree with you entirely. It's like, okay, fair enough, Madonna, right? Whatever you want to think about her, whatever your opinion is.
She was fit back in the 80s, but now she's irrelevant.
She was famous for singing. The fuck do I care what her views on Trump?
She was famous for singing and getting dicked by a basketball player.
Hey.
And it's just like, but no, I agree with you. Just to round it off, I agree with you entirely. Okay, granted you're a celebrity, and yeah, it will get it will make it more on social media and that. Oh my god,
because you've got a following.
Are following it. But at the end of the day, she's just a singer. Her opinion is the exact same as a random fucking plumber. Do you know what I mean? She's not a politician.
Not an economist.
She's someone who had a decent voice, who made money off of it.
She had a decent voice and an agent.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's exactly what it is. I don't give a fuck about your political views.
It's not addicted Madonna. It's just the first name that come on.
Yeah, it's the same as if someone else started chatting political views to me and I don't agree with them, I don't
cool.
care.
That's your opinion. Do you know
Doesn't matter if you're Madonna or someone else that I just know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care how well known you are. It's still an opinion, regardless.
Unless you're a politician and you've actually
Mel Street.
Yeah, unless you're a politician, you've got actual analytics, facts, and stuff that you include in your speech to use.
If you study this shit,
obviously, as long as it's not fake news.
I don't necessarily care who you are. It's more about how you present your point.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And you're just screaming about.
If you present your point, say if you're in an interview on the news, if you present your point in a calm manner and you also respect other people's opinions, then fair enough. I'll probably listen to you. But if you organise a women's march on the same day as Trump's inauguration, just so you can basically say my party's better than his, and then start
Essentially,
spouting
just a bunch
shit,
of,
I'm not going to listen to you
It's
because
a bunch of like just women bitching. That's all it is.
yeah.
That was it. And it's
But
like, oh yeah, men are like.
That's the thing. Also, like I've got to reiterate the point that it's not a sexist thing to be saying this. It is the fact that it
No, it's
was
just-
a women's march. It's
yeah,
fact. It
there's
was a
no-
women's march.
It's not. Yeah, it's not a dig of. Oh yeah, it's just women. It was a genuine fact of. It was called a title, and the point was only women to march.
Yeah.
Now that
So
was
it's
the
fact.
point of.
It's
that was-
factual.
That was the point of the march.
It's not. It's like the thing is, it's not like you can be, a fucking man and left wing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Or, just be a man and
But
disagree
they-
with
they-
like the
but-
current.
And be a man
president.
and like be pro feminism.
What I think is
Yeah,
quite
I mean,
funny is
Like, but the fact they made it solely women.
Yeah, what I think
is
is
the
quite
thing.
funny with that because it's kind of like saying, oh yeah, men are sexist. Trump's sexist and that lot. They're always sexist against women. But then if you have a bloke turn around and go, yeah, I agree, they're like, fuck off.
Yeah, your
Yeah, it's
opinion
like-
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like I
You're
agree. It's like
mansplaining.
stop mansplaining this. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's just like your opinion
Listen,
doesn't
bitch.
matter. You're a man.
listen,
So
bitch.
you're-
I was defending you, but if you're gonna get arsey, you can fuck off.
Yeah, it's like oh yeah, your opinion doesn't matter. It's like you're a man, so you can't have the same opinion as us. It doesn't affect you the way it affects women. It's like so you're having a protest about men being sexist, and then you've just said fuck off, you're a man.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
That is extreme feminism.
So
That's to the point where, for some reason, all men are arseholes because men are all templates apparently,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah,
just
I
have to
mean,
you have to fill it, and then
Us dudes, right? We're
Yeah.
all the same, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. Like apparently, men are all, according to these extreme feminists, men are all the same. Women power,
I know.
but also if a woman, if a sane woman can also sit there and go, you know what, I understand your points, but I also understand their points. They're going to say, "Fuck off, you're not a feminist."
Uncle
Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what?
It's going to say, "Fuck off! You're not a feminist. You're actually defending them." It's like, no, I'm on a neutral standpoint here. I agree with some of your points. Some of them are a bit far fetched. I agree with some of their points. Some of theirs are a bit far fetched. I am on equal ground, and they will literally just tell you to fuck off.
Yeah, even if you're on the fence, it's either you 100% agree or
Or
it's
not
like,
at all.
It's
Yeah.
like
Well,
like anybody
it's the
outside of the
same-
United States is technically an Arab. It's
It's,
like
the,
that thing.
it's the same thing with any authoritarian ideology.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're either with us or you're against us.
You
know?
can't be neutral for
So,
some reason.
Whereas if you are from a libertarian standpoint, more libertarian ideologies, it's like there's some leeway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know where you people sit politically, really. You know what I mean? I'm not like I should.
Mid-right.
Amount of time. I'm like libertarian centre right. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like I don't really, how to say it? I don't want to fuck with other people's lives, liberty, and property as long as they don't fuck with mine.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't see what's so wrong with that.
Just neutral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But apparently you've got to be either fully left or fully right.
So
Which is ridiculous. You know what I mean?
I still love the quote. See, this is a little bit more of a dig. And
Sticks and
it's
stones
fun.
will break
Sticks
my
and
bones.
stones will break my bones, but there will always be something to offend a feminist. The thing I love about the thing I love about that quote itself isn't the quote. It was the response it got when it was against an offense. Like
It
so,
took the bait,
so
yeah.
the people
She got
that-
baited and she fucking
people
took
that
it.
don't know this, right? It was a debate against a dude and some feminist, right, on the news. And the dude said, "Sticks and stones will break my bones, but there will always be something to offend a feminist," right? And now the feminist, so they were like, "Okay, cool, we're going to leave it at that." Now the feminist turned around, got all arsey, and long story short, went and actually no, she near enough quoted.
She said, "If you, I
If
will
you don't
never
let
do
me
this
yeah,
show again
I won't
unless
come on
you
the
let me
show
answer
unless
this."
you let me respond. And she was
Yeah.
getting full on arsey, and I literally turned around and watched that. I went, yeah, fair enough, it was funny. But I turned around and watched that, and I was like, well, you've just proved his point. He's just said that, and you've got full on offended at that, and you've literally bitched out and gone, "I'm not going to come back on this show if you don't get offended." And now it's the exact same, like you said, with any authority type.
Yeah,
thing.
no, it's not just them. It's like people like it's like communists, fucking fascists, neo-Nazis,
They're all cunts.
extreme kind of like anarchist, like liberals. They're fucking all terrible people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're on different ends of the spectrum, the autistic spectrum, but also the political spectrum.
Mm.
Same thing.
And they are complete. The one thing they share is they're complete assholes because they want to control every aspect of your life.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
Now, if you're one of these, and you like to complain and say, "Fuck you, we're all wrong," go take your opinion somewhere where they give a shit.
Yeah.
George
Because
Bush did nothing wrong.
all I'm saying is because the difference.
I don't know.
See, the difference is all I'm saying is
Lee
you
Harvey
know,
Oswald did nothing wrong.
there won't be
Adolf Hitler
there won't
did
be
nothing
many
wrong.
people. There won't be many people
Mein
like
Kampf.
listening. let's
My
be fair.
struggle.
There won't be many people like listening at this point, right?
Like
But
20 tops.
if you are like if you listen to this and you are like I don't know like a feminist or any sort of like you know
Let's put it into a category of feminazi.
yeah, let's say feminazi.
No,
like
okay.
well no full on feminist and you get offended by this. If you haven't got the idea of we don't really care, then I'm going to word it. We don't really care because this is what the podcast's about. It's our. This is what I hate as well, right? This, funny enough, goes with Christians, right? Well, religion in
Back to
general.
religion bashing.
Religion in general,
My
right?
favourite topic.
This is our opinion. Your opinion is your
Oh, we
opinion.
share one now.
If you said no, I mean like you know, this is our opinion. Like you know, you actually, anyway, this is our opinion, right? So if you made, if whoever's listening gets offended and they make it like, if you made a podcast and then we didn't agree with it, we'd be like, cool. We probably wouldn't listen and we would just like move on with our lives, right? If you get offended, this is what I hate about religion and all that lot. If it's not, if your opinion doesn't agree with their opinion, this is like you know all like the same thing, you know, the extreme left and right, everything extreme. If it's not your, if you don't agree with their opinion, it's automatically wrong, right?
Mm.
What people like that need to understand, and this is why I would say it on the podcast because I'm not one, you know, I'm not one to go, oh, if you have a go, I'm going to think that in my head, right? You know what I'm like? I'll say this straight out loud. Your opinion is your opinion. There's a reason why it's not called fact. If you disagree with whatever we've said and you're offended by that, we really don't give a fuck because that's your opinion. Do you know what I mean? There's no point wasting your time complaining about it because we will disagree. Because you brought up the point you're offended, we're not going to agree with you.
Just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had that. Do you remember the thing on my phone? Do you remember the whole Argos thing?
Yes.
So,
yes.
I'm gonna put a little bit of context, right?
Jared,
Long story short, right? There was a female that I was working with, and I was online, and I found it funny. There was a wallpaper that said "Keep calm and hail Hitler," right, with like a Nazi in the middle. I just found that humorous. I didn't even agree with it. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I didn't agree with it. I didn't think, oh, this is funny. I didn't do anything like that. I just went, yeah, it's quite funny. I put it as my background. This female looked over my shoulder, saw on my personal phone that it was there. She's like, why have you got that? Why have you got that as your background? And got full on offended and was like, "That's completely not funny." And all this like just started having a go. Like there's other stuff involved as well, but that's basically the downs of it. And I was just like, so you're saying that I'm the wrong and you disrespect me because you looked at my private wallpaper, my personal property, and you don't agree with that. And it's just like, it's bollocks. Like, if it was the other way around and she put on a picture and she put on a picture on her wallpaper and I happened to see it, that's her fucking phone. Whoop-dee the fuck do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, and it's literally like, to round it up, because we've been going on for quite a while,
It's going to be all the way longer. So.
to literally, like, feminazis, religion, all of the extremist things that we've gone on about now, that female is the personification of that. It's like any religions, like Christianity. So, for example, if like you know they look over the shoulder of a Muslim, like reading the Quran or whatever it is, you know, like that. It's literally like they turn around and go, "Oh, you're wrong. I'm offended. You're reading that book." If you're offended about reading the book, don't read the fucking book. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what we like with the opinions. It's just like we're saying our opinion because it's our podcast. We can do what we like. And that's what the people that agree or just find it funny come here to listen to. But it's our opinion. We don't look over your shoulders, see what your opinion is, and go, "Oh, that's wrong. Go fuck yourself." Do you know what I mean? It's just like if you got back to us and told us your opinion and you completely disagree, then okay. If it's a good factual point, then I would listen to you and be like, "Fair enough, that's your argument." But don't expect any four of us, like just in general, just don't expect us to give it shit. Do you know what I mean? Like we've had many debates in sixth form, and we've had a lot of debates where we agree, we disagree, and we meet in the middle. The thing that pisses me off is everybody thinks there's agree and disagree. Do you know what I mean? And if someone else has a decent point on the other side, they go, "Fuck you, you're wrong." The amount of times that we've had like an argument, but like a debate. We always had debates in sixth form. It was like an ongoing thing whenever we left psychology. There would be points that I made and like vice versa that you'd make that would make us think that's a fair point, and then we would say, yeah, fair enough, I agree with you on that. It's a change of opinion.
Your opinion can change, you know.
And
it's
like,
not a solid
kind
of like baseline that, you know, nope, you've crossed the line, I cannot, you know, adapt. You know, if you're straight up lying, there's a difference, you know, but like, you won't.
Exactly. It's like the scientific point. It's like the scientific thing, do you know what I mean? If you can show... Nice.
Holy fuck.
If you can show proof... Like, if you can show proof of the point... If you can back up your point and you've shown proof of this, and it agrees, like, you know, and it makes sense, then
my arse is numb.
I'm not going to disagree with that. So, if you have, like, you know, if you have your opinion, then cool. If you feel like saying your opinion, then I probably won't care if I'm going to disagree, purely because, you know, it's just our opinion. We don't think that much into it. And it's literally just, however, we're not like, yeah, this is right, this is wrong. We do accept that opinions can change. If you bring up a point and you back it up enough and it's fair enough, it's like the whole God situation. Do you believe in God? It's like, no, I'm a full-on atheist. I wouldn't say extreme atheist. It's just I'm atheist, right? I'm almost agnostic, you know. I don't really care about, like, I'm not really a religious person. I don't give a shit about the religion because, again, what people disagree on, but this is fact. No matter what you say, this is fact. Your religion is your opinion. If that was not a thing, if it was not your opinion, there is no way that there are more than one religion. If it was a true fact that there is one God, we would all agree with that one God. However, because there's multiple different religions, that automatically says pure fact.
It automatically puts it into an opinion.
And that is true, and I can back that up with the fact of how comes people can change religion. Like, you know, they could go from like being a Muslim to a Christian, or they could
adopt a religion,
or they could adopt a religion,
come out of a religion,
or they could come out and become an atheist, or they could become from an atheist to a Christian. If that's not an opinion, then you just don't get what an opinion is. Do you know what I mean? If you don't understand that, and that's
if you don't understand its opinion, then you shouldn't be in any religion.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you should just like not even that. If you want to be in a religion,
then if you don't fully understand it, then why are you part of it?
Don't argue the point. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't argue the point that hard on.
It's like me joining a book club and not reading any books.
Yeah, it's like hard on American Christians. You know, like the one that we spoke to.
The kind of like people have seminars and will exercise people.
Yeah, they will believe that everything that in the Bible. It's like they'll believe everything
demon
in the
inside
Bible
it is boy,
true, and everything outside of the Bible is wrong. All I'm saying now is, if that was true, Snapchat doesn't exist. Right, that's all I'm saying. But it's literally the point of, if you can't accept,
but it doesn't exist. What is Snapchat?
This isn't me being like an extremist. Chat?
What's Snapchat? I don't know what the fuck this is.
This isn't me being an extremist.
Where did all
this
my
is
nudes go?
This is a hard fact. A religion is an opinion. And if you don't understand that concept, then it isn't something you should debate about. If you want to believe that God, fair enough. Don't try and get other people to agree with it, because you don't understand the idea of an opinion. That's all I'm saying, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, back to the debate thing.
Back to the future.
Me being a full-on like agnostic, right, atheist and stuff like that.
I was about to say.
If I was, I don't really give a shit about like religion. You know what I mean? Personally, this is my opinion. I don't care. If you want to believe in a God, cool. However, because I'm not a retard extremist, like, you know, like an extreme atheist. If you show funny enough, like an atheist actually, I reckon a lot of atheists.
A bit like Richard Dawkins.
No, but
extreme atheist.
No.
Delusion.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, though, I think every atheist would agree with me here, right? Because this is like this aspect of
call up Ricky Gervais and see if he
knows.
believes.
If you showed me, if I was shown hard proof that God genuinely does exist, I wouldn't dismiss it, and I would go fair enough, and I would believe in him. And I'm pretty sure that near enough every atheist.
That's the thing is, if you're given hard proof of something, you cannot still dispute it.
Yeah, and that's
because you've been shown proof.
Religions, like, you know, Christians, if there was hard proof that like Allah exists, they would still dispute that and be like, nah, that's God, or that's God's bitch, or something like that. Atheists,
right, you heard it here first.
God will fuck him up, America.
God will fuck your God.
It's literally just.
But not in the ass. That's gay, and that's not God's way.
And yeah, it's an opinion. Oh. I'm gonna wrap it up. Like, actually wrap it up on this one thing, right?
I'm about to say, the amount of times you wrapped up, it may as well be a past a parcel.
I know. Right, so I'm gonna wrap it up on this one thing. In the Bible, it was actually said that shrimp,
Can't eat shrimp.
eating shrimps is against God's will. And funnily enough,
But I know a Christian who enjoys prawn cocktail.
No. But funnily enough, right? Funnily enough,
What about the shrimp sandwich?
no, but
You
funnily
got
enough,
fried
that,
shrimp, boiled
the
shrimp.
The thing going against shrimp
We got
was actually mentioned more times in the Bible than being homosexual was. It was mentioned more in the Bible, that shrimp is against God's will than it was homosexual.
I still find that hilarious.
That's
how
all I need to say.
how a genuine being on this earth, like shrimp, is just somehow against God.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
how dare you?
It's
enjoy
like
this
God
fish?
did not like shrimp.
Now, if you
You
genuinely
bastard.
disagree with this and think that it is not an opinion, then fair enough, you have your own opinion, but there's no point disputing it because you don't understand. You just don't have that knowledge to dispute anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And in the famous offload way, from being a topic, this is what happens all the time, by the way, Jared. No addition.
Our newest staff member.
It starts. You've been thrown in the deep
J-word
end.
afflicted.
It starts.
I feel like we can't call him a staff member because then we're going to have to pay him.
Your turn.
I am literally
Our opinionated distributor.
Yeah.
Therefore, if we call him that, we technically don't have to pay him.
It starts with a topic and it ends with a run.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been Charlie. Jason
I've been
needs
Jason.
words.
I've been Tom,
No, I've been Jared.
partly.
And,
Bush did nothing wrong.
we'll see you next week.
Bush did
Bye.
9/11.